One point discussed in the Firewall and IPS video is that UTMs are not an innovation. Well, this point was argued back and forth. We feel that one major fact is left out. We don't want our UTMs to be revolutionary. It makes more sense for them to be evolutionary. I'm here today with Angello Comazzetto, product manager at Astaro, to discuss this point. Hi, Angelo.
Hello.
First of all, why wouldn't an organization want their UTM to be revolutionary?
Well, in the security space, anytime something is drastically new, there's always two things. There's a slow adoption rate of it, as people are not really sure that they want to get into the latest and greatest thing when it comes to something as important as their security. And the second thing is that the security industry has so much knowledge over the past 15 to 20 years, especially in the last 5 years, and that it's slowly moving forward with an increase of what's been built in the past. Coming out with a completely new thing might be so radical that it would introduce new things that could be unforeseen, that could cause problems, and people definitely don't want to risk their internet security on an approach that hasn't been tried and tested and has 20 years and plus of experience, as current firewalls and intrusion protection devices might.
Okay. Now, it was also pointed out that UTMs are really just a bunch of other functions cobbled together. How do you agree with this sentiment? Do you disagree with this sentiment?
Well, we do agree with that, in that not necessarily cobbled together, and that the functionality that's put into a UTM has been carefully sourced out and put in place to try to blend a lot of tools that people might use in different places into one convenient kind of stop-and-shop place that you would want to log in, manage a bunch of tools, and you don't have to maintain a bunch of separate different installations. The benefits of UTMs have been covered for the past 10 or 15 years, especially in the last 5 years, again, as they've grown massively in popularity. But I think that saying that they're not innovative is kind of like saying a car isn't innovative just because it adds 500 new features. It's more of an evolution over the basic design of a car, which still is light years ahead of something that was on wheels 80 years ago.
Right. So it's like adding an MP3 player when you had a CD player before.
Yeah, it's taking a basic idea that works and moving it forward in a logical step with what people ask of a product, versus trying to reinvent everything and come out with a car that flies instantly without all of the things around network topology or roads, all of the things that are already in place. So I think the idea of, if you were trying to be the first to market with a completely new way of doing a firewall or doing a UTM that had never been done before, especially all of the different areas and revolutionizing all of those and putting them together in a brand new product, I think that you would face a very low adoption rate of people just unwilling to take the risk of being first in that area. That being said, it would be nice if this kind of market or the tools in our space took a different direction at some point, but it would definitely happen more slowly instead of something that just came out next week that would completely change the network security business.
Okay. And then one other point that was mentioned is that UTMs are really a sales strategy, more so than a technological strategy. What would you say the technological advantages are of implementing a UTM?
Well, I think, the way that this has been put out in the last couple of years especially is, again, UTMs are designed to simplify the admin's life and also to bring functionality into places that might have been out of reach for a lot of SMBs. For example, if you go back just 5 or 6, 10 years, what happens is the intrusion protection systems were firmly in the realm of people who had like $50,000 budgets for a dedicated appliance and also had the years of experience needed to deploy them effectively. Now, as that feature becomes more mainstream, you can deploy one with a few clicks, it's effective, it works great, and along that lines, UTMs may not be revolutionary in that they're not adding really brand new features not seen anywhere else in the network security industry, but at the same time, the way that they package that functionality allows far more people to use them depending on their educational levels. They don't have to take a 7-month or a 3-year training course in security to be able to deploy a lot of the features that are in there. They're basically a graphical user environment, they tie everything together, and they allow you to sit down and be effective and deploy incredibly powerful tools with almost no training or special education in a network security position, especially for that 50 to 250 space where they might not have a dedicated IT department, and if they do, maybe they don't have a dedicated network security professional on staff.
Okay. Thank you, Angelo. This has been an Astaro production. Thank you, and tune in next time.